Tell me I, F44, am right in assuming husband, 50M, is cheating. So, the day before yesterday, as I was walking by my husband to give him a quick kiss, I noticed messages open on his phone, not text, but messages on a website. He quickly closed it. I was suspicious but didn't say anything since I didn't see it for more than 2 seconds. Last night, same thing, and I caught the name sexchats, or something like that, but he quickly closed it. When he was taking his shower, I looked at his phone, and a few browsers were open to sex sites, and the conversation that I saw, didn't dig. Just looked what was displayed, said. Person. Do you wanna $% me? Him. Oh yeah, so bad. I decided to take some time and sort out my emotions and feelings. I am pissed off and hurt. This morning, he noticed something was up. I told him I wasn't ready to talk. He went into work, but texted me a couple hours later asking what was up, and saying he loved me. I said, yeah, you love me so much, you're sexting with other women. He then tells me that his Google account was hacked, and he was trying to trap the hacker. Am I right to not believe that? I have never had any reason to doubt his infidelity before, but I have been cheated on, and he has as well. I am now doubting everything. I realize that posting some random thing on the internet doesn't give a full picture of the relationship, but I just want others to weigh in on what they think if they were me. Update. So I apparently have married the dumbest man on the planet. His tablet is connected to his phone, so I can see everything on there. A sexting site was emailing him saying, "So-and-so wants to talk to you." I saw the site open, so I went through it. There was no conversations open, no messages sent. The screen defaulted to a picture of a conversation that has the exact words that appeared to have been open, but it wasn't the actual case. He sent about 50 emails trying to unsubscribe to the website over the last 3 days. He must have thought the email was legit. I still think a conversation is warranted, at least to educate him on spam. That update just ended my life. You said you saw him with his phone open to this same site twice, right? And he quickly closed it both times. His account didn't get hacked in my opinion. What type of phone does he have? That update is so funny. Good thing he's not cheating. Definitely need a chat about internet safety. It's definitely suspicious. Why wouldn't he mention before that he was hacked? And the continuous quickly closing his phone when those conversations were open? Lol. That's a very nice ending. My wife 34 female loves her best friend 38 male and wants him to join our relationship. I am 31 male. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Longtime reader, first-time poster not sure what to do. As the title says, my wife wants to add her best friend to our relationship. I am 31 M and wife 34 F. Her best friend is a 38-year-old M. We just moved to her home state, which I do not know very many people. Wife had introduced me to family and friends she grew up with. Most of them are amazing. But when she introduced to her best friend, I noticed a connection between them. They never dated in the past, but you could tell there was more than just friendly feelings. We have all hung out with each other, drank on a few occasions. And all got along, just knit so friendly looks between them every me we did. Few months go by and wife has started to get secretive with her phone. Closes out of Snapchat when I come by her. And changed her lock code. No, I was not trying to snoop. My phone was dead and was using hers to call a friend of mine. Enough backstory. Well, last night she asked me if it was okay if she was shared. Confused by the question, I asked, "What did you say?" She repeated herself while kissing on me. We have never done anything like that in our 8 years of being together. I told her I would have to think about it. I asked her if I were to share her. Did she have someone in mind? Then she said D, her best friend. I got jealous and angry. Started to bombard her with questions. Which she got quiet and didn't answer them. Most of them being if she wanted to be with him instead of me. Or, did you want a threesome or a whole relationship? She didn't answer. Which lead me to believe she wants more than just a hookup. That was last night. I left the house and turned off my phone. Drove around for 3 hours and eventuality passed out in my car at rest stop just out of town. Once I turned my phone back on, I had 32 missed calls and over 100 messages and Facebook Messenger messages. I haven't been home yet due to working today. I just don't know what to do. What should I do? Leave my wife or let her best friend in our relationship? When she started being secretive with her phone and changed the password, she probably started an affair with him. Physical, we don't know, but she definitely didn't want you to read what she wrote. I think she wants to cheat with your app. Of all everything is leading this way. I think it's better for you to end this unless you want to have an open marriage, but she never mentioned this, just that she wants to have sex with him. If you want monogamy, then yes, get the divorce. She wants permission to cheat. Well, what do you want? You came first. Is she going to be okay with you bringing another woman into the relationship, or is she only interested in getting hers? You are the one she is in a relationship with. You are the husband, he is not. If you don't want to do it, don't let it happen. Get tested for STDs if you have any doubt about this. If you are monogamous, then it may be over already. Being told you are not enough is almost impossible to come back from. You can say, no. You can say, no, that doesn't work for me. It's a hard no, and don't ask again. Also, for our marriage to work, you're not going to speak with him again. But really, you can expect it to be over. I, 32F. Wasn't invited to best friend's, 32F, wedding. Where does our relationship go from here? My best friend of 18 years got married on Friday at the courthouse and I wasn't invited. We've been best friends since high school and lived together for years. People used to think we were dating because we were so attached at the hip. We call ourselves sisters, not just friends. I know her family and get along well with her fiancé. She is one of most important people in my life. They decided to elope and get married at the courthouse before having a reception next year. It was a last-minute decision based on their personal situation, which I understand and agree with. She shared her outfit choices with me and asked me for advice on their personal situation, but I didn't get an invite, so I assumed it was going to be them only so they can get the paperwork done. It kind of hurt since I had her as my witness at the courthouse when I eloped. She called me a day before the wedding to apologize and explain that they were only allowed to have a certain number of people in the courthouse, and it snowballed into a big thing when they only planned for it to be just the two of them plus 2 family members for witnesses. Now, both their entire families were invited, even people in her family, in-laws and step-siblings, that she doesn't even like. It was a hard pill to swallow, but I tried to be gracious and understanding because the day wasn't about me, family is family, etc. But her friend from college was invited, so it wasn't just family only. Her reasoning was that the groom has gotten close to the friend's husband over the past couple of years and he has a hard time making friends, so she didn't want to say no to his only friend coming. And of course she had to invite the college friend since the husband was coming. I'm invited to the reception next year, but I still can't help but feel heartbroken. I don't know how to move forward from this. She's reached out, apologized repeatedly, and I know she's feeling guilty, but I feel like our relationship has changed forever. Where do we go from here? How do I get past the pain? Your best friend made a bunch of excuses that didn't hold water based on her actions and the large head count courthouse guest list that you were not part of. Maybe you're a better friend than she is? These things tend to open your eyes to the quality of your give and take relationship. If you're giving and she's only taking, you should consider taking the time to find a better friend who appreciates you, not one who only gives you excuses. It sounds like you consider her like a sister, but she doesn't feel as strongly as you do. I'm in a similar situation with a friend of mine, only it's the other way around. I've distanced myself because after knowing her for 6 years, I don't like comments she's made about my husband. I made the choice not to invite her to a large party I had for my son, and it was honestly because I just don't want to spend a lot of time around her. We are in the same social circle, so I don't want to make a big dramatic scene over it. Maybe your friend feels the same way about you. It hurts, but the fact she's apologized so much means that she still does care about your feelings. I know you said that she's apologized, but have you expressed to her how much this hurt you? I've seen this a ton of times with my wife's friends. She is basically moving into the couple's friends phase. She'll probably start spending a lot more time with friends who are in relationships with guys her husband likes, so they can all start doing things together. I'm sure she still cares about you and wants to stay friends. But you're probably lower on the hangout priority list now. Just be careful, because these kind of friends will sometimes use you as an emotional dump for their life. She'll come to you with all the problems, but you'll see her post happy fun activities with her other friends. She's a people pleaser with everyone but you because she knows that you'll put up with it. I'm sure that she genuinely feels sad that you're hurt, and I believe she'll do similar things again because you've always stuck around. I think it's time to step back slightly. You have more regard for her than vice versa. My 33 male, wife, 30 female, wants to terminate our pregnancy due to age gap. I 33 male have been married to my wife 30, for 3 years. My wife had a daughter as a really young teenager, who is 16. We have discussed many of times about having a second child together, and finally decided to put these plans into action. We conceived and she found out pretty fast she was pregnant. Now as it's starting to hit her, she says she doesn't think an age gap this large between the children is a good idea, and that she'd be starting over again. We've always talked about having more children, and she always wasn't ready until now. My stepdaughter was visibly excited about the idea of being a big sister. We are finally doing very well for ourselves financially. This is the perfect time. I explained this to her, and she is dead set on the age gap being too far apart, and how she thinks she might need to terminate. I told her it was an outrageous idea, to terminate a pregnancy we planned for, and she said that it was her body and I was out of place. I understand I might be, but I already love this baby. She agreed to do some more thinking, but I am so distraught. I always imagined adding to our family, together. Raising a baby. This is something we spoke about being marriage, and both agreed on. I don't understand the change of mind now, as hard as I try. Advice? Is termination a deal-breaker for you? If she terminates, will you be resentful? If she keeps the baby, will she resent you? This may be the end of your relationship and I wouldn't blame you for ending it. She had her daughter at 14? I think the age gap is an excuse. Sounds like the initial pregnancy weighed on her immensely given she gave birth as a child. I don't think this has to do with the age gap. That's just an excuse to deflect from the fact that she doesn't want to have another kid. She spent her teenage years as a mother, and she spent her 20s as a mother. Now she's finally starting to get some freedom back into her life, and she's going to have to do it all over again until she's almost 50. You need to have a discussion with her about her fears of starting over again. She hasn't been the priority in her own life since she was 13/14. It's perfectly reasonable for her to not want to miss out on the bit of youth she might get to enjoy. Seems like your wife doesn't want another child. If you want biological children, you have to start thinking about getting a different partner.